or when it came to playing at Scotiabank Arena, I should say, I felt that he was kind of just meh. And I think, again, because where the Leafs are in the standings, it kind of put them in a tough situation to where, can you really boo this player? Can you really boo this team that is in a playoff spot, is up in the upper echelon of the league, and you are not? It almost kind of felt awkward. And I think it was just a moment for Leaf fans where it was kind of like, wow, like, Leaf fans are really booing Mitch Marner. And it's just like a full circle moment where this day kind of felt like it was always going to come, with all the shenanigans that happened with Marner in Toronto. And for that day to finally come, I think it was a little bit awkward for Leaf fans. And obviously the atmosphere in Scotiabank Arena, you can attest and, say whatever you want about it. But I just found the game to be light when it came to the booing against Mitch Marner. But, I think the Leaf fans and also Vegas fans are kind of going to be in a situation where, they're looking past what Mitch Marner is, like what Mitch Marner was in Toronto compared to what he was in Vegas. Like if you look at goals, career lows in goals for Mitch Marner right now in Vegas. Points, lowest since 2018. Shots, career low. Penalties drawn, career low. Takeaways, career low. Ice time, lowest since 2019. That was a graphic I just read that Sportsnet had on the other day. It's just kind of feels like it's like Mitch Marner and Toronto are just done with each other, and that night was so hyped up. And I think both teams are just in such different directions, and the player is in a different direction with the Leafs. And I think it was kind of just one of those things where it just didn't really fit the moment compared to where Toronto was in the standings and where Vegas is and the moment. But, moving past that storyline of the game, I think it was a huge shift, that game. It's honestly kind of sad that game pretty much shifted the entire identity of the Leafs season, right? Like a couple weeks ago, we were looking at, could they make a push for the playoffs? They're finally starting to, play like a legit team, and they're playing with so much cohesiveness. I think I used that word 50 times in last week's episode, where I was like, they're playing together and they're figuring it out. And then they played this game against Vegas, and it pretty much put that to bed and put it to rest. Obviously, the odds, at that time weren't terrible, but you could tell the team was starting to slip. And now we're at the point where this team is, I believe they're below 5% in terms of their odds of making the playoffs. There's no way they're going to make the playoffs. And now we're looking at a complete shift. And it's crazy how Mitch Marner's return to Scotiabank Arena, the most emphasized and sought after game in the entire regular season, was kind of the turning point of the Maple Leafs season.